Does anybody remember an old PC game from the early 1990s called Mr. Mix? It's mainly a typing game similar to Mario Teaches Typing, where you have to type words into a box to make the chef, the turtle on Mr. Mix, put ingredients into a bowl. Unlike most typing games, however, this game is notorious for having an insane difficulty curve. The game has a minute requirement for each level, being as low as 10 on level 1 and as high as 85 on level 3. But level 5, the requirement reaches over 500, effectively making it impossible to proceed any further. One of the main things that people noticed about the game immediately was the background music. The music on the first level was an unsettling pattern of growls and got progressively louder as the level went on, often causing damage to early computer speakers that were not designed to handle extreme high volume of sounds. The second level had no music at all, and the third was the sound of an extremely low-quality recording of a hairdryer playing in the background. The remaining two levels had an extremely loud, high-pitched ringing throughout the level that caused severe eardrum damage to those who managed to get this far. Another rather disturbing aspect of the game was the design of Mr. Mix himself. He was a large, round-faced, overweight man with large, beady eyes and red spots on his cheeks. Most children who played the game reported having vivid nightmares of Mr. Mix speaking in a quiet, raspy voice, threatening them to keep quiet about something. However, none of them could remember exactly what it was. One psychologist who made many of these children report being disturbed by a sheer amount of terror on their faces as the children as they recounted the details of the nightmare. Many of the children broke down to tears in the process, begging for their parents to save them. However, no direct relationship to the game itself could be determined by these few cases, as not all the children suffered the same arise effects. For obvious reasons, the game did not sell very well. It remained in relative obscurity until a few years ago, when PC hackers got hold of a ROM of the game and started digging through it. Using memory hacking software, they managed to crack the game's code and bypass the impossible fifth level. What they found, however, was extremely disturbing and caused many of them to quit the expedition altogether. According to the reports, these hackers left behind the hackers left behind the game behavior very strangely. If the fifth level is bypassed, the game crashes violently and closes with a bunch of files to the user system 32 directly, to the point that the RAM was almost completely filled. These files are reportedly pictures of people with horrified, demented faces, appearing to scream in pain and agony, with their eyes appearing to be bleeding from their tear ducts, and the outer layer of skin torn clean off of multiple places. If the user attempts to delete these files, the computer will violently crash and blue screen, causing permanent impairment damage to the user's hard drive. The hackers found that this was caused by the low byte in the game's ROM that triggered when the fifth level was completed. After removing the byte, they were able to proceed to the sixth level and final level. Unfortunately, all the original hackers declined to discuss what they saw on the final level, all of them becoming extremely paranoid and reluctant, refusing to talk about anything related to the game and showing extreme symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. Most of them said to be unable to form coherent sentences within a week, and within a month, all of them went missing. All remaining copies of the game were destroyed. To this day, no one knows what was in the game that caused so much psychological damage. Maybe it's better that way. 2 years after the incident, a man was arrested for trying to kidnap an 8-year-old girl from a grocery store. Though DNA and fingerprint analysis, the man was identified as only one of the original hackers who viewed the final level of the game. He was wearing a white chef's hat and looked of unspeakable malice and insanity on his face. When interrogated, the man would only say, "I'm Mr. Mix." Shh.